Well, hey, what's up, everybody? I have a video here, Sadhguru on Hinduism. So let's keep this in mind, because sometimes people will say in the reaction videos, especially with his videos, there wasn't much of a reaction. And what I would say to you is, we have two ears, one mouth. Maybe we should do more listening than talking when it comes to certain things. So let's go ahead and check this out.
Over a period of time, I don't know who did it, they made it Hindu. So, Hindu is a geographical identity and to some extent a cultural identity. It is not a religious identity. Hindu was never an ism. It is only when hugely, aggressively very aggressively competitive religions came, the Hindus tried to organize themselves as a religion, but even now they are not successful. Because they cannot, because there's no one belief system. There's no belief system at all. You can believe that God is a man and be a good Hindu. You can believe God is a woman and be a good Hindu. You can believe God is a monkey and be a good Hindu. You can believe God is a cow and be a good Hindu. You can worship a snake and be a good Hindu. You can worship a tree and be a good Hindu. And you don't worship anything and still you can be a good Hindu, because it's a geographical and cultural identity. It is not based on any particular belief system. This culture, which grew in this particular part of the land, of the planet, over a period of time, focused their whole attention on the ultimate development or the ultimate well-being of the human being. The immediate well-being was not too important for them. The ultimate well-being became the most important for them. Generally, it is said these days you have forgotten being in UK, and the Indians have further forgotten more than the people in UK. Hindu means in your life there's only one goal, mukti. Mukti means liberation. The ultimate liberation is the only goal that a Hindu has. For him, his business, his career, his family are all secondary things, only stepping stones towards his ultimate liberation. Everything is secondary. His relationships are not important for him. For him, the only thing is liberation. Even God is just one more device for him to attain to his ultimate liberation. Nobody else looks at it this way. Generally, in every religion, God is the ultimate goal. This is a culture where we do not see God as the ultimate thing, because we understand we created him. And we can create any number that we want, any kind we want. We learn this whole art and science of consecration, that we can make a rock into divine. If you eat an apple, or let's use an animal, let's say you ate chicken in the afternoon. In one afternoon, the chicken is becoming a human being, isn't it? According to Darwin's theory of evolution, from a chicken to a human being, we don't know how many million years. But in a single afternoon, you're transforming a chicken into a human being, aren't you, in your body? So this is called as digestion. This process is called digestion, where one thing is transformed into another. Or if you go further backwards, if you take manure, filth, and put it at the root of the plant, maybe in a month's time it becomes a sweet apple. It's just a lump of shit that is hanging there, but so sweet and wonderful, isn't it? It's the same thing, isn't it so? This is called cultivation or agriculture, where you're converting one thing into another. This is called as digestion. Similarly, you can convert a stone into divine. This is called as consecration. Because this science was explored in a huge way and people learnt how to create a very intense forms of energy which is way beyond where a human being is right now. Today science is proving to you everything is same energy. So what is the difference? Between a rock and you, what is the difference? Different level of intensity and function, isn't it? So this same energy, and religions have always been saying God is everywhere. So if God is everywhere, this is also God, this is also God, but is it the same thing? It is not the same thing in your experience, isn't it? It is not the same thing in its function. So what is in its ultimate function and ultimate possibility, you call it as God, but the same energy. What is in its lowest function, maybe you will call it a rock or something else. So to transform this one into that ultimate possibility is the science of consecration. Because this science was explored, they started.
That is, I think that is the crux of Hinduism. And I think so many invaders, let's call them invaders of India, don't understand when the British came and what they did to India. I did a documentary on the occupation, the Great Britain occupation. Did you know 65 million Indians died underneath the hands of the British? 65 million. That is almost 11 times Jews in World War II. It's a lot. It's a lot of people dead. Or if you look at kind of the invasion that's coming in from secularism, moving India away from its Hindu roots. I think this is the gist of what they don't understand is it's hard to separate India from the Indian. When you look in the Bible, there was the Assyrians had a thing that they did when they would conquer an area. So let's say the Assyrians conquered India and then they conquered America. What they would do is they take all the Americans, send them to India, and take all the Indians, send them to America, because they found that it really slowed up the revolts, because you were in a strange place, you didn't know the customs, you didn't know everything was like whoa. And I think when it comes to these forces that are working against India to move it off its traditional base, they don't understand this concept of this the Hinduism. They view Hinduism, I think, as a religion that the individual must be converted from into whatever it is, whether it's Islam, Christianity, their version of Christianity. And I think Hinduism, what I'm learning, is more of a philosophy. I mean, there's religious aspects and deeds that happen, but it's more. It reminds me a lot of what Bruce Lee said in the Buddhist idea: become the water, right? Water takes shape. It changes. If you pour water into the coffee pot, it becomes the coffee pot. If you change it into glass, it becomes the glass. It can crash down on you. It can gently move you. Become the water. And I think that there's a non-rigidness to Hinduism that when people attack it, it just kind of absorbs the hit and then gently pushes it right back out, if that makes sense. Now, if you want to say in the comments, hey, bald dude, you're a moron, go ahead. I could concede the point, because sometimes I am a moron. But it is this video here, I think, kind of gives the mystery of India and why it's intriguing. It is something that's not structured in how the West is. America is very structured about things, and I think it's coming from this point. What is the ideology that the nation is based on? My opinion. I could be wrong. I'll catch you guys later. Peace and much love.